What's going on? You're watching NFL Daily. It's Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports, and today I'm going to be looking into my crystal balls, figuring out where Yannick Ngakoue, Kareem Hunt, and DeAndre Hopkins are going to be playing football this upcoming season. Now, before we get into these three players, hey, it's the offseason, post-June 1st. We try to tell you all the time when big-time news happens. We keep you up to date here at Chat Sports. Leonard Floyd signed with the Buffalo Bills, coming off a season where he had 9 sacks, and I think he is able to rejoin his teammate Von Miller. Could the Bills sign another player in my free agency prediction video? Let me know. But guess what? I'm always about finding a goal, and whether you're trying to lose 10 to 15 pounds, whether you're trying to, get an A-plus grade in high school or middle school, my goal today is to get 30 more subs, because if we do, we hit 337,000 subscribers. So take a second, subscribe, turn on your noties, join the Chat Sports family. It's 100% free. And if you don't like the videos after a week, guess what? You can unsubscribe. You literally have nothing to lose, only everything to gain in terms of NFL content. So let's talk about Yannick Ngakoue here. And there was a report that came out on Monday that he wants to play for a contender, and I don't blame him. He's bounced around a few NFL teams, and he's played on some good teams. He's played on some bad teams, but he's had at least 8 sacks in every single year in his 7-year career, which when he entered the NFL in 2016 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, they were not the greatest, and then in 2017 they had an okay season. For Ngakoue, he's good going after the quarterback, and that's always going to end up finding him a spot on a roster. However, you are starting to see a lot more NFL teams scheme for him a certain way because, let's face it, he is very below average against the run. In terms of what types of defense Ngakoue plays for, I laugh a little bit because last season he played in a Gus Bradley defense. With the Raiders in 2021, played in a Gus Bradley defense. When he first started in the NFL, Gus Bradley was with Jacksonville. So is he going to just stay in Indy? Potentially. I don't have the answer to that. So everything that we talk about on today's show, we're going to go through the latest news and rumors around all three of those players. I'm going to break down the top destinations, and then I'm going to give you my prediction where I believe they play. So could he go to the Colts, the Chiefs, the Bears, the Lions, the Browns? If you don't know what Chat Sports is, we are an interactive YouTube channel. So before I give you my answer, I'm going to ask you, for every single one of the players that you see on today's show here, where they're going to play. I don't want to have a conversation with myself. It's not why I do this. I do this because I want the interaction. So where will Yannick Ngakoue play in 2023? After you get hit with this YouTube ad break, it's going to be my answer. I have Yannick Ngakoue going to the Chicago Bears. As it stands right now, I am making this video. The Bears somewhere around $32 million in salary cap space, which is the most in the NFL. Chicago has also been very aggressive this offseason, and some of y'all are like, well, Mitch, didn't you say he wants to play for a contender? I think right now the Bears think that they are a contender with Aaron Rodgers no longer in Green Bay. Minnesota, this division, when you look at the Detroit Lions, lot to go for. Matt Eberflus was the Indianapolis Colts defensive coordinator from 2018 to 2021, so there is a little bit of a relationship there with Ngakoue's 2022 team. So Eberflus might be able to pick up the phone, call Indy, and say, hey, what do you think about Ngakoue? Can you convince him to come here? If the answer is yes, well then great, because you do get a solid defensive player that can get after the quarterback. And Ngakoue has been declining year in and year out in terms of his run ability, but there is one thing that this guy knows how to do. If it's third down, if you're in a no-doubt passing situation, he can absolutely help your defense. Coming up next here on today's show, where will Kareem Hunt end up playing football? I got a lot of my fantasy football buddies probably sitting here wondering, Mitch, where do you think Hunt's going to end up playing? But you know what? One person who I know watches all my videos, it's my dad. And I'll tell you this, he's the number one dad out there. But if you're like, no way, Mitch, my dad's better than your dad, well, prove it. You can get your dad an awesome Father's Day gift. We got T-shirts, we got long sleeves, there's coffee mugs, there's regular Yeti-style coolers, there's all different sorts of really sweet Father's Day gifts for all 32 NFL teams. And all you got to do is go to the link that you see down there below, chatsports.com/fathers. I was nice enough. I put it down in the comments and in the description. So if you need a Father's Day gift, don't be the kid that you don't get yourself or your dad anything. And if you're a dad watching this right now, you're like, shit, I'm pat myself on the back right now and get myself something, do it. The link's down below, and it's 25% off. Let's talk about Kareem Hunt now, one of the top free agent running backs out there. He is only 27 years old. He is going to be looking for his third NFL team. And in today's league, you want a running back that can not only run between the tackles, but can also catch the football. Hunt also is a halfway decent pass protector, which is a very underrated part of his game. Last season with the Cleveland Browns, 123 carries, 468 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also has that ability, like I mentioned, to catch the football. So Kareem Hunt is a very intriguing name out there. In terms of destinations, it was tough because since the offseason has happened, there has not been a lot of updates on Kareem, and there's really not been all too much updates on the running back position in general. So what I try to do here is look at every single running back room and say, okay, that fit makes some sense there for Kareem. So you got the Cincinnati Bengals with some uncertainty around Joe Mixon. Dallas Cowboys, they moved on from Zeke. The Minnesota Vikings, I feel like I hear a Dalvin Cook trade rumor every single day. The Buffalo Bills, always looking to upgrade their running back room. And the Miami Dolphins, who this team has been aggressively looking for running backs. And in fact, there was a report that came out earlier on Monday that apparently they tried to trade for Dalvin Cook. So if they tried to trade for Dalvin Cook, at least means that there's some sort of interest at the running back position. So if I asked you where Yannick Ngakoue is going to play, I'm going to ask you the exact same thing here. Where is Kareem Hunt going to be playing football this upcoming season? I know one person here at Chat Sports Studios probably would be excited about this move. His name, Tom Downey, host of our Cowboys show here. And if you haven't already, go check out our Cowboys show as well. I got Kareem Hunt signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, not afraid to sign players with talent, even if they have a troubled past. If you don't know Kareem's troubled past, well, you can look it up on Google. You can probably look it up on social media as well. The Cowboys released Zeke this offseason, and to me, the Cowboys' offense was at its best when it had a 2 running back show. Tony Pollard, under the franchise tag, hell of a running back. You pair Kareem Hunt, Tony Pollard, maybe mix in even a little bit of Deuce Vaughn. That's going to help out take some of the pressure off of Dak Prescott, especially when they need to pick up maybe a few clutch first downs. Next player coming up here, which is probably the biggest reason why you clicked on this video, and hell, arguably the number 1 free agent out there, DeAndre Hopkins. I'm going to tell you where he's going to end up signing. Before I tell you that, Chat Sports, it's called Chat Sports. We talk about all sports here. Huge shout out to Chase Sr., Nick Roloff. They have been covering the NBA Finals. The series right now is tied at 1 game apiece. So, who you got? The Denver Nuggets, type DEN. If you got the Miami Heat, type MIA. And friendly reminder, for every single NBA Finals game, the guys go live. They've had up to 10,000 people watching at one time. And if you're an NBA fan, an NFL fan, if you're a sports fan, another reason to hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about DeAndre Hopkins now. The Arizona Cardinals, they released him on May 26th. Hopkins has stated that he also wants to play for a contender. He also wants to play for a good defense. He has listed some quarterbacks that he wouldn't mind playing with. But to me, I look at his ability, and I still truly believe if I wrote down the top 20 wide receivers in the NFL, I just have a feeling that Hopkins would be on that list. He's 6'1", he's 212 pounds. His ability to be a dominant force in the red zone is something that all quarterbacks would love to be able to have. Has he played with some good quarterbacks? Sure. Has he played with some bad quarterbacks? Oh yeah. And he still put up the numbers. For the list that Hopkins listed in terms of what quarterbacks he would like to play for, with Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills, Jalen Hurts from the Philadelphia Eagles, Patrick Mahomes from the Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, Justin Herbert, and the Chargers. Guess what? A lot of really good teams here and a lot of talented quarterbacks. But guess what? Just because that's his list that does not necessarily mean that those are the top destinations that I believe that make the most sense for the veteran wide receiver. The Bills and the Chiefs, they're going to be competing with each other. The Baltimore Ravens, I mean, they just signed Laquan Treadwell, but Laquan Treadwell's not going to be a reason why you don't bring in Hopkins. The Cleveland Browns, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. So guess what I'm going to do here? Where is DeAndre Hopkins going to be playing football this upcoming season? I want you to take an educated guess. And for me, I'm actually not going to go with a quarterback that he said, hey, I would like to play for. The quarterback that I believe he's going to be playing with this upcoming season is a QB that he's already played with at one point. I believe he's going to go to the Cleveland Browns here, and there's different reasons. To me, the Browns are going to be the team that give him the most money. He can say he wants to play for a contender, but at this point, why not play for a contender, but also go out and get your bag? When you consider the fact of how much draft capital the Cleveland Browns gave up to get Deshaun Watson and the contract, $230 million, fully guaranteed, you got to make sure that Deshaun Watson plays well this upcoming season. So Cleveland, you add a friend who Hopkins has recently said that he wouldn't mind playing for again. And if you're Watson, you're like, shit, man, let's go back, let's get this guy, and let's make it happen. I'm not saying that he's going to be able to put up the numbers that he once did in 2020 and 2019, but you look at that AFC North right now, it's loaded with a lot of talent. I can make a legit argument why the Bengals are going to win the division. I can make an argument why the Ravens are going to win the division. I'm not going to sit up here and say the Steelers, though. The Steelers have a great defense and a very rich culture and arguably the best head coach in Mike Tomlin. So one more time here are my free agency predictions. Yannick Ngakoue, he's a Chicago Bear. Kareem Hunt, going to the Dallas Cowboys. DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a receiver for the Cleveland Browns. If they made this far in the video, we got to be doing something right around here at Chat Sports. Take a second, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy the rest of your day.